Hello and welcome to the FSF PopCast Live Edition. All right, and welcome to the first official FSF PopCast. The first official with, like, you know, the proper nameplates and, you know, video clips and intros and all that stuff. That's right, all that fun stuff you go through when you rebrand everything. It's good times. Well, we just want to remind you that this is the show that reinforced Anakin Skywalker's hatred for sand, but also remind him that rocks being thrown at him probably wasn't fun either.
He finally had the high ground, and Obi-Wan made it high.
For like 30 seconds.
And before we get into tonight's show, we need to say thanks to our show partners, Level Up Sabers.
All right, let's watch the fantastic lightsaber video. Anyway, so as most of you are aware, and if you're not aware because it's a new show, link for Level Up Sabers can be found in our show notes and the comment section. And
it's already on the screen. Look what I did. I know,
proud of you.
It's kind of scary, right?
New show, new Tim.
All right, and so one of the things that we're all very passionate about here is trying to help out sick kids when they need it most, and we have been able and been very fortunate to work with a wonderful group called Wish Upon a Teen, who personally helped out my family back in 2019 when my daughter was hospitalized for 97 days. So they come in when the kids need it most. They give aid and assistance to the families and do their best to try and make an extended hospital stay not suck as much as it can. So they're a really good group of people. And we have a video here that we want to play just to remind you that we have some merch or opportunities for you to be able to buy directly from or not buy directly, but rather donate directly to Wish Upon a Teen. All right, so that's the quick video. The link I was trying to put up has a lot more information in there than it should, and so I'll have a corrected link out and down for you shortly where you'll be able to find that Red Shirt Widows and Orphan Fund merchandise and also a direct link to Wish Upon a Teen at wishuponateen.org. If you would rather, you can donate directly there. And we also want to remind you that if you are so inclined, you can, of course, take a couple moments to subscribe. As you see it scrolling along the bottom of the page here, subscriptions help us more than we can really ever tell you, and it means an awful lot to us that you guys would consider subscribing. And then also, if you want to help us offset some of the costs that it takes to run this fine here show on the live channels, you can always do what we call buying us a coffee. That's right. It's not just for people who curse on our show. It's for those who have the opportunity to share a few shellings with us as well. So,
wouldn't it be Ko-Fi instead of?
But it's
There's Buy Me a Coffee. There's also there's also a Ko. It's spelled Ko-Fi, but they pronounce it coffee. Who am I? I'm just
Anyway.
Well, let's welcome our guest tonight. First, Matman from TikTok and the Church of Star Wars.
Hello, Matman.
Hey, everybody, good to be here. I forgot about the swearing rule. I'm going to owe everybody a lot of coffee if I'm not careful. I'm going to owe a lot of coffee if I'm not careful. I got to be careful.
Oh, man, we shouldn't have reminded him.
Probably not. Good to be back.
We're glad to have you here.
And we also have Ron or Baron Von Lippy
Pants.
Yes.
Baron Von Lippy Pants, Ron Lippitt. Hey, good to be here, guys.
Oh, you a
It's
prompter.
exciting.
from Crossing the Streams.
Yeah,
How-
so we're
how's
glad
everybody?
to have both of you. So
Yeah.
we're doing good. We're doing good, buddy.
I still need to
It's
remember
always
to
better when we have
address
smiley people here with us. So
Yeah.
Glad to be here with the Matman, learning about him, the Church of Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
yeah.
It's good to meet you, Ron. Always nice to meet new people.
Who said this?
I did.
Yes. The dogs.
Always nice to meet. Oh, who said what on the bottom? Oh, it's like I did. I said that. Did you not? Filoni be praised.
I'm looking right at you.
Filoni be praised.
Be praised, yes.
Praise Filoni. Oh no, I don't have the hat. I ruined the illusion.
I'm disappointed. All right, so before we jump into anything topic wise, let's have you guys each take a moment and explain what you do and where people can find you and all that fun stuff. So Matt, let's start with you.
Sure. I'm the Matman Show on TikTok. I do kind of like Church of Star Wars. I do Star Wars related content, skits, comedy videos, impressions, all that stuff. If you'd like to check me out, again, TikTok. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, but I don't post on there as much. So if you do have a TikTok, that's the best place to find me.
Although your art on Instagram is pretty cool.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Yeah, I think it's cool.
thank you.
And I'm
Actually,
I
I'm always
gotta-
impressed with anybody who can draw more than a circle. So I mean, you're doing
I-
great.
can't draw a circle. Circles are hard.
Everyone can draw. Everyone can learn how to draw. It's literally my job. I can teach you. But yeah, I need to do more drawing, for sure.
Jeff Dwoskin would like to know who invited Ron.
I mean, it's a fair question, right? It's a fair question, especially when I missed last week's Crossing the Stream. So it's like I'm not on Crossing the Stream. Suddenly I'm on Tim's FSF PopCast. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, it's good for him.
He just likes us more than he likes you, Jeff. It's okay.
So
Ron just needs to know he has options, Jeff. Okay, I'm just saying. So there's the options for being able to buy the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund. The links are in the chat now, and we'll make sure those get down into the show notes as well. So there's the TeePublic link for the Red Shirt. You can get shirts, let's see, coffee mugs, hoodies, phone cases, stickers, magnets. You can get the whole face mask thing, whatever. And then of course, wishuponateen.org if you would prefer to make a direct funding to them. They would greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. Excellent. We've got you both here. We've got topics. So let's jump right into it.
Ron didn't get to say where he was from.
Who didn't?
bastards.
Ron
You forgot about Ron, Tim.
What the hell?
Wow.
that'll-
Unbelievable.
You're gonna disrespect me on your show? You're gonna disrespect me like this? This is
that's a 5-minute banning. I'll be back.
I
This is Ron's last time on the show.
I mean,
That's
it's as much
amazing.
as we disrespect ourselves on this show.
That's
Of course we're gonna
amazing.
disrespect others.
No, real quick. Professional destabilizer. You'll find me on podcasts around, usually ripping on people and talking about being the anti-hero for each of these podcasts. That's what I do. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I have run my own blog and social media hub, and it's Wednesday nights at 9:30. You find me every week crossing the streams on the Jeff Dwoskin Show and the great group of folks that come as part of that group. So glad to be here.
Excellent. All right. Sorry about that. Did not realize that
worries.
we had not given the Lippy
All
Pants
good.
a chance to be lippy. All right. So now that we have the airwaves clear, we can talk about our topics for tonight. So first off, out of the gates, now last week, Wednesday, we started something that here on FSF that Kathleen and I were doing every Wednesday on Pop Culture Addicts. But now that Pop Culture Addicts is part of FSF, we're doing it here. And that's called our 5 at 5. And last week, Wednesday, I did a live at 5 for the finale of Kenobi. and I gave my top 5 things that I liked about Kenobi. And so we'll have a chance to talk with you guys tonight, see what you liked, what you didn't like. What are your thoughts about the series as a whole? Do you have thoughts about Star Wars moving forward, et cetera, et cetera? So no particular order, fire away. Whoever's smoke them like you got them. Let's have it.
I was going to see how many more times you would say Kenobi.
Kenobi. I mean,
Be mindful of your thoughts,
don't always have
Anakin.
to
They
say
may
it.
betray you.
I don't always have to say Kenobi. Kenobi.
I love that you
Anytime I
have
can
that on demand. I love that.
Right?
I have to. It's one of my favorite things that Whitwer's ever done. So yeah.
Well, since you showed that scene, it's interesting that they used a relatively similar scene with Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like angles of that scene and like him being like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what they were doing.
I even thought at the end, when it shows the rockscape at the end, that almost looks like to where at the end of Kenobi, where he's going in and talking with Qui-Gon Jinn as he's riding his camel-ish thing, off into a what?
Eope.
Yeah, them too. He's riding one of them things.
I occasionally know Star Wars things and I'm proud.
You do, and you'll clean it up. So
I did not know that. I did not know what that thing was called.
That's also what happens when you have a tiny person and you watch all of your shows with subtitles on.
This is why I
There you
don't do
go.
like facts on my page. This is because I don't like. I enjoy Star Wars. I'll see it a million times, but I can't do all the names and stuff. It's just it's too hard. I can't. I can barely remember my students' names sometimes. Like I have to have a chart with me, so like I can't be memorizing all the stuff in Star Wars.
I get that. And legitimately, I only know it because it showed up in the subtitles. Like,
It's a lot better than what my mom calls it.
Do we want to know?
go ahead, Nick.
She calls it an uncircumcised camel.
and there goes.
Deb's bringing the heat.
Oh no!
Way to call your
My
mom out,
childhood.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was called either, and I was like, works for me.
That's canon.
Mom,
now.
what's
That's the
this? No, Mom, that's not what it is.
I do love those videos though. Where it's just like they get their friend or their girlfriend or their mom who's never seen Star Wars to just name all the people, and like they'll put up Boba Fett. It's like, oh, that's Frank. It's just
That's
like,
Frank.
yes, that's Frank. That's him.
I didn't write that. I don't know who wrote that. That's
It's obviously been hacked.
Exactly. All right. So, any thoughts on Kenobi, the series as a whole, individual episodes,
Loved it.
etc.?
Yeah, that I loved it.
what do we think of Ewan McGregor? Do we?
I've always loved Ewan. I thought he was fantastic in this. Like, but I've loved him in everything, but I loved him in this as well. Like, I just thought he was just. I actually think he was better. Like, obviously, the acting in the prequels wasn't the best. I always felt his was the strongest. But even in this, it's like, holy crap! It's phenomenal. He's one of those. It's one of those castings where it's like Tony Stark is Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
He is
Right.
He
Right,
is
he is
Obi-Wan
Kenobi.
Kenobi. Like, there's no other person that they could have gotten to play this character.
No, I absolutely adore Ewan McGregor in everything I've ever watched him in. Like, I didn't like Moulin Rouge, and I liked him in Moulin Rouge.
Wait, he's done other stuff?
He's done.
Yeah.
He's not just. Wait a minute. Obi-Wan Kenobi isn't real.
Honestly, though,
He's Obi in every show, just a different version.
He's just.
However, other than Obi-Wan Kenobi, my favorite role of his is Christopher Robin.
I do like Christopher Robin. I really did like that movie too.
That was a really, really good movie, and he did a really good job as an adult Christopher Robin. And not just because I kind of wanted somebody to hold me the way he holds Pooh Bear, but that's the thing.
That's a very sad movie.
I actually don't know.
It's good, but it's sad.
What, Matt?
Go
I
ahead,
was gonna
Matt.
say I don't know if I actually put this up or not. But as an example for one of my assignments, we had to do like a mixed matched identity or mistaken identity project. And for an example, I photoshopped Obi-Wan Kenobi into the Christopher Robin poster, and I changed the title to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it was just Obi-Wan Kenobi with all of the all of like Pooh Bear and Tigger and all them. I should put that up on my Instagram because I feel like it'd be funny to put up. But
That'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely.
I have many thoughts on this. Overall, I enjoyed it as a show. I disagree with some of the writing content of it.
Okay.
I feel like they could have done more, or they should have done more, in like especially in respects to Riva. Like there came a point where she has a certain personality, and we don't learn something until the last 2 episodes, and we're supposed to care about her now. And I was like, that's a big jump.
Sorry, which character was this? I literally just got distracted by what was put on screen. I did not hear like half of that.
It was Riva. Riva's character, I wish they had developed more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they had developed it more, it would have gone a lot better.
I think.
I understand what you're saying. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just gonna say I think I understand where that's coming from a little bit. Like I haven't gone back and rewatched it. I'm doing a marathon right now, and I'm putting Kenobi in the marathon. So we'll see. Like now that I know the twist, we're gonna go back and see if it kind of flows as well. I didn't have that same problem, but there is that one part where it's just like all the stuff, like the stuff she was willing to do. There was a part where it was like, okay, I can see it. Like it's not that I don't believe it or that I can't see it. It was just more like I have to go back and see like, okay, am I going to get hints of this? Like, is this like when you go back and watch it? So like after a twist, usually you should be able to kind of go back and watch it and see that the motivations were still there. Like you should still see a little bit of it in because, sometimes a lot of things make more sense. Otherwise it seems just like an abrupt like change. So
right.
I can see how that like maybe not everything aligns, but I loved her character. I thought she was like, she was fantastic.
So I get what he's saying about there are parts of her story that do feel rushed,
Mm-hmm.
and again that's also part of just being she's not quite a main character, but she's not quite a side character. I don't know what to call her, but she's right there in kind of in the middle, of those two things. She's an important character to the story, but she's not quite main. And in being so, part of her story gets rushed and it gets a little sloppily handled, as there are still things about that she did or what happened in the show that kind of irk me, because now I have to believe that stormtroopers are not only blind and can't shoot well, but I also have to believe that they're mostly deaf, because I think it was episode 5, they're standing on either side of the wall. They're talking to each other in not very hushed tones about her feelings about Anakin and what's going on. And I'm like, okay, so stormtroopers are deaf now? They can't hear that? Nobody's going to go, all right, we got to kill her. She's a traitor.
Right.
I think it was episode 3. They still haven't explained how she got all the way around to the other side to kill the pilot. And, there's little things like that irk me, but not enough for me to stop caring about her character, because I think that Moses Ingram did such a fantastic job with the character that she got us to dislike Riva as a character, but yet feel empathy for her, for what she had gone through, and care about where she's gone and where she's going. And in that alone makes me want to see some type of spinoff with her as to what could be, what might be, where did she go, what did she do, all that kind of stuff.
How did she?
What's that?
Her Cotton Eye Joe. Where did she come from? Where did she go?
So anyway,
Tim, can I just say this is a feature of this show that I hadn't known about before. I really appreciate it. I'd like to leverage this in the rest of my personal life and business life.
Being able
it is enjoyable when you can just go, yeah, I don't like that, and done.
Unfortunately, in person, Tim just pushes you.
Oh no!
This hurts much less.
Obi-Wan is Palpatine.
Oh
my god.
No, so I agree though that there's a lot about her story that doesn't feel finished, and I don't know if that is Disney's way of trying to make us like her and be interested in her so that they can do a spinoff, because they also know that they give us Star Wars content, we're going to watch it.
Mhm.
We are suckered in
I
and
was
caught.
I was really happy when they released episodes 1 and 2. It made it all feel it made it feel complete. And I think if they released episode 3 and 4 together and 5 and 6 together,
Mhm.
I feel like it would have been more complete.
That is
Is
one
it
thing
just-
I do feel. Oh, sorry.
No, please go ahead, Matt.
That is one thing that I do feel like a lot of people have said this could have been like a movie.
Mhm.
This could have been a movie. Like you could have hit the same beats with like a 2.5 hour movie. And I loved the show. I think it works just fine as a show, but I do agree with that. Like if they wanted to, they probably could have cut this down into
There's
a
filler.
2.5 hour movie, and still got all the same emotional beats, all the same like awesome moments. And like you said, like, Reva's story, like they could actually make her a bigger part of it. Like with a smaller story, they can put more of the focus on the characters
Mhm.
and flush that out a little bit more.
And they would have caught Leia within like 30 seconds and not a 5-minute,
Right.
horrible through the woods chase. So
I
have a problem with that. I like to think that Flea's better at a game of tag than that. And that he would have been able to catch her a lot easier through the woods. But who am I?
if the point of the scene is for her to be caught, they could easily have just had them pick her up, grab her. The scene would not, and we wouldn't have gotten that amazing moment
Mhm.
of the running.
Mhm.
The insult
I-
comic dog.
I feel like some of it too, that they go that extra length to be cheesy and unbelievable because it's Star Wars, and it is at its root, it's a space opera, and operas are dramatic. And I feel like they may have gone too far into that skid a couple of times, like with the chase scene.
Yeah, both
At the
chase
same
scenes.
time, I also know how hard it is to try to run after and chase a small child. Like, they are way slipperier than you expect.
Okay.
I also had issues with the fence part where
Where they could have just walked around.
Oh, they could just. How did we get past this?
Honestly, that whole fence, what it made me think of? It made me think of Robin Hood Men in Tights, where Dave Chappelle's like, I'm on this side of the river, I'm on that side of the river. I'm standing on both sides. It's not that hard.
Yeah, that was like.
Well, so I haven't seen it. Is it like the toll booth scene in Blazing Saddles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
100% yes.
It is exactly like that. Yeah.
But in space.
Spot on.
They
It's like that.
There's
but in space.
a laser fence
Got
with
it.
2 guarded edges on the side, and it's like built into a hill, but it's a very sloping hill. It's not like directly down on the sides, where legitimately you could have walked up slightly on the hill and around the fence and not hit the electric part that cut the stormtrooper in half.
Right.
Would have been fine.
Even the edges of the fence were not tall enough that you couldn't have just climbed on top of those and over them if you hadn't wanted to walk on the hill for some reason.
No, John. No, John.
Makes sense.
No
Sean.
ideas for you.
He's just not taunting you at all, Tim. No.
Yeah, no, he is.
Never.
John is also the GM of our monthly Star Wars RPG game, and
awesome.
I don't like it when he starts getting ideas.
Should I tell you he got stuff in the mail then?
Oh, Jesus.
It's not a Wookiee killer yet. He keeps taunting me with a Wookiee killer every time I piss him off.
I just gotta say the Gungan keeps saving your butt.
You got lucky.
Yeah, the Gungan had good dice rolls. I'm starting to think he was fudging those.
We're gonna make Nick get a dice cam so we can see it.
We need a camera on him. We don't trust the Gungan.
I can just share my screen. I mean,
All right. So, what are everybody's thoughts about Kenobi moving forward? You know, a lot of people are disappointed that there's not going to be a season 2. And then Kathleen Kennedy came out the other day and said, "Well, we'll have to see because it was so well received and so many people want it." Do we think that we're going to get a season 2, or are you like me and think that 1 is enough? We don't need a season 2, and that I would rather see other stories told.
I am on the fence. I'm on the fence with that one. I am on the laser fence with that one.
Just walk around.
That you can easily walk around. Because I understand a lot where people are coming from. It's like, this could be it, and I would be completely happy. I would not need anything else. Because they tied it up, even with Reva's story. They left it a little bit open, but like the whole point of it was just like, oh, she can be who she wants now. She can go off and be who she wants and do what she wants. So we don't necessarily need to see that. It was implied that she can go make her own choices. So that could be open-ended. Everything is closed off that needs to be closed off.
I thought so.
But then my lizard brain goes, but Ewan McGregor and Darth Maul again, I want it. Because so if they do another season, I don't think they can do Vader again. I think they have to make the bad guy somebody else. And I think they could do Maul because I believe, I don't do a lot of the comics, so I'm not sure. So please someone correct me if I am wrong. But as far as canon goes, in Rebels, when he does see him on Tatooine, that's the first time he goes to Tatooine. But there's no indication that he hasn't seen him any time before that. So they could easily do like Obi-Wan goes off world again, finds Maul, and maybe we see how he ends up on, I can't remember what it was. It was like a Sith planet, I think. I can't remember what the name of the planet is. Kathleen, you're good with names. What was the name of the place in Rebels? Anyway, like how Maul ends up there and stuff like that. Like you could easily do Maul as the main bad guy. What is it? I don't even know what he's trying to say.
Oh, there was a comment about this comment. John said, "I don't want a Kenobi season 2. I want a remake of the original trilogy with Ewan McGregor continuing the role."
Ooh, that is.
I'm on the fence with that one because
that is spicy.
Don't you dare touch my Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I don't know if they could. They could never remake those movies. I don't think I don't think they would be that bold. I know it was part of the contract, but like, I just want the theatrical releases. On Disney Plus. I know that they'll never be able to do it, but
I would giggle excessively if the theatrical releases would come back. So
yeah, or
with the original Emperor,
maybe they could just do like a one-time thing. Like maybe they don't have it put out anywhere, they don't sell it, but they put it out into theaters. So it's a one-time only theatrical release of all the originals, and then no one gets to see it again. I don't know.
So am I the only one? Hold on. Am I the only one that thought the introduction of the Emperor in the original 3 was a mistake? Like I thought they already had their supreme evil bad guy in Darth Vader, and I thought the Emperor
it's the Sith rule of
wrecked it.
Yeah,
is my take.
So then you find out that he's just a puppet.
He's just a puppet.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but there's always the Sith rule of 2, and if there's Darth Vader, there's got to be a master. He's the apprentice. There has to be a master. Yeah. And so they had to introduce him, but yeah,
and to rub sand in that wound that he's still not a master.
Oh my god, I did that one time. So I did that in a video one time. I did like
you rubbed sand in a wound.
No, I referred to. So no. I made a. So Ahsoka calls him Master Skywalker. So I made a little skit of him and Rey, and I had Rey referred to him as Master Skywalker because I just assumed that would be just like, not even as like a proper title, but just as Ahsoka did, she would refer to him as like Master. The amount of comments that I got on that video Oh my God! I will never make that mistake again. I assure you.
I'm sure they were all friendly.
Oh, yes, Star Wars. The Star Wars fandom is known to be so friendly. Don't you
Right?
know this?
Star Wars fandom is the most accepting fandom ever.
That was actually going to be my
Excessively.
negative. Like my positives, I was going to name all the positives for the Obi-Wan show, and the negative was just going to be the fans. That was just going to be
Right?
it.
The fence and done.
Oh,
Done.
no,
But
my
yeah.
phone.
Bye, Matt.
Oh God!
No,
this
that's
is
fantastic.
live.
I'm pretty.
He
I
dropped
don't think that's
us.
ever happened on the show before. That's pretty cool. Thank you.
Oh gosh, yeah, you're welcome, guys. Glad I could
That
be of
was
help.
quite the trip.
I think the best part wasn't even the fact was the spiraling of the camera as it fell. I'm pretty sure it was the
It
my
stayed.
phone.
Stay straight.
Oh dear.
Okay, so
Oh,
back
God.
to Kenobi though.
Yeah.
1000% will die on the hill that Vivian Lyra Blair as Princess Leia Organa, best freaking thing to happen to Star Wars since Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
1000%.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I love her.
The side by side cuts of her as the young Princess Leia versus the images of Carrie Fisher later on as
Mhm.
Leia Organa as the princess, as the rebel, as the general, the symbolism and even the way that they dressed her in the first couple episodes and the way they did her hair was just it was really cool.
I would be okay with a young Princess Leia spinoff.
Right, even just like
Yeah.
go from Leia from the end of Obi-Wan to the end of Rogue One. That's a fair amount of time. That there's a lot of stuff she's got to do.
9 years.
Yeah.
There's 9 years of happenings there.
I would
So-
watch that 1000%. I would watch that.
I would watch anything start. You could have like a whole series of just the Gonk droid, and I would watch that.
Mhm.
I would
Gonk.
watch a whole series where
Gonk.
the main character is just the Gonk droid. It's just the Gonk droid
don't hear
doing
you.
whatever. There's no
Ron.
plot. There's no characters. It's just the Gonk droid. And
I
would
don't think
watch it.
Ron was actually making a noise. He was just doing the what the hell?
No, no.
What the holy hell is a gonk droid? Come on.
Oh,
I'm
Ron!
speaking for all of America right now. What the hell is a gonk droid?
It is a
It looks like a
precious
very
little
large-
thing.
It looks like a trash can with legs.
It's a trash can with legs. That's what it is. It's a
So,
trash can
yeah,
with legs,
you know those-
and it is precious.
Yeah, those trash cans with like the you see at like schools and stuff with the flippy lids on the top.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's basically just painted a gunmetal gray and they threw some legs on it and called it a gonk droid.
I'm
Nice.
almost positive that's actually what they did too. For like, I bet you any amount of money that's what they did for the prop. They just found a trash can.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it's
just
pretty
taking
similar.
notes from Doctor Who at that point.
Yes. Oh God.
The
old
original
Doctor Who.
Daleks are just trash cans with plungers and whisks.
Get out of my head. I was thinking the
Yes.
same thing.
Ah, I don't want to be in your head.
I do enjoy in the original three. Yet again, I'm talking about the original three. I do enjoy how broken R2D2 is in the original. he's like falling apart as he's running. Have you guys noticed this, right? You paid attention?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean it's fantastic. They were so over budget and they couldn't put
He's
that
been
thing
through
together.
some things.
He's
But
been,
yeah, to
They
be
figured it
fair,
out.
he's been there since episode 1.
There you go.
He's seen.
He's seen
And-
some crap.
A lot of stuff happened with him in the Clone Wars cartoon as well.
I think it was in the I don't remember if it was stated in the Obi-Wan series or if it was in the Ahsoka book that I just got done with, but Bail Organa says, about R2 that he's never wiped his memory.
Hmm.
Right.
And
No.
and so I think that might have been in the book, but all the same. But yeah, he's R2's like the ultimate ride or die droid. He's seen everything, he's heard everything, he knows everything, and he's not giving it up.
He is the pit bull of droids. He has been there for all of it. He has heard every sob, every tear, every curse, and he's not going to tell anybody about it, but he's still got your back. He is not leaving your side.
Nope.
Why he's the best.
So R2 did make a appearance in Kenobi.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was at
At the party, I think.
38:45. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You got it down to the minute.
Very,
It's like,
That's
look at you go.
specific.
What
That-
episode is that in?
2.
Hold on, let me Google this.
I love that you have the minute and the second, but you don't know the episode.
Yeah, how did you
He
get
knows-
the minute?
He knows what minute it was because a minute after that is when his parents had to pick him up.
I'm pretty sure it was just like it was the party, right? It was the party that they were at.
Yeah.
Where
When there
Leia
was the
owns
other
her
protocol
cousin.
droid.
Yeah,
Oh, that burn against her cousin too. Whew.
that's
That was
when I
pretty
was
stellar.
like, "This is Leia. This is Leia Organa right
yeah.
here.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is Leia."
I even loved it at the end where she's like, if I'm gonna be part of this, we're gonna have to make some changes.
And
Yep.
I
You know.
love it. And then how amazing Bail Organa is with the let's do it together. Like that is a dad, and I love that.
Mm.
Also, Obi-Wan telling her about her parents kind of killed me.
That was one of the parts I cried at. I cried twice during this
Yeah.
entire series, and that was one of them. 100%.
What was the other one?
The other one was during the flashback scene.
Ooh.
Because that
Yeah.
literally that shot me straight back to childhood, and I just remember because I've always loved Anakin, like as a kid, because I was just a little kid. Like I never thought about the acting. I was like, Anakin's the coolest guy ever.
Right.
So like going back to that, and I've like seeing Hayden do it again. It was just like I got so emotional. I got
and
legitimately
I feel
emotional.
like that was a big thing for the 90s kids was we got Christensen back. We got him to finally be Vader. Like
Yep.
this is what he was building up to with the prequel trilogy. That sure, the prequel trilogy is incredibly flawed. There are a lot of flaws in it. It's Star Wars. Star Wars is full of flaws, but we
Absolutely.
love it anyway.
Oh my god.
That's nice.
He's, you know what? People can make he still looks younger than I do. So like,
No, I'm not knocking him, not at all. I was thrilled to have him on there, but we were mentioning all this. I had to bring that up because I absolutely love that.
Between getting to see Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan, which everybody loves because Ewan McGregor, getting to see Hayden Christensen get to step into the role of Darth Vader, even if it's not necessarily him in the suit all the time. And sure, they still use James Earl Jones's voice for most of it, but that battle scene between Obi-Wan and Vader, when Vader cuts the helmet and you have that view of the fact that Anakin's still in there.
I love the way that they use the use of the light with the shadowing of the red and the blue, and they put blue on Anakin's face when Anakin was talking, and it was red when it was the Vader part of him that was talking, and then at the end it was just all red.
And the way that they filled the plot holes from the original trilogy with this, while still creating plot holes of their own in the Obi-Wan series. I mean, that's just it happens. You can't fill every plot hole.
Right.
But why did you say my dad was dead? Well, because he told me he was.
Right. Yeah. No, they fixed some of the dialogue issues for sure.
Why does Leia not know Obi-Wan? Because he told her that it would risk their lives. Like,
right. He told her that he was Ben.
Yeah. Some people thought she should have gotten her mind wiped.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I hope he's figured out how to spackle that hole in his
How would that I'm sure that's something that you could do, but why?
But
why?
also as a 10-year-old, who remembers every person they met as a 10-year-old?
I don't remember breakfast. You think I'm going to remember crap from when I'm 10?
Exactly.
I'm not going to.
And I just need to go on record as stating, because I've said it in type, Star Wars Theory is an idiot. So there, I'll say it. You don't have to. I will say it. He's an idiot. So, okay.
I do not disagree.
God. All right. So, yeah. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Kenobi yet, you've heard our ramblings, our thoughts, but let's move on to something else. We've got about 20 minutes left, and I want to make sure that we get to this. We're going to skip one of these topics and go into another one, because this movie, I'm not entirely sure why I sat down and watched it, but I did. And I think Ron knows where I'm going with this.
I mean, finally some class has entered.
I'm scared.
The dumbest science fiction movie ever made. It is now streaming on Paramount Plus. You can watch it there.
Timmy.
Yeah, it's Yeah, I did not
What
mean to
am I
close that,
looking
but I
at?
did. But that was Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. If you've never watched anything Beavis and Butthead, or if you
I have
have
not.
watched anything Beavis and Butthead,
Don't.
well,
Just don't.
if you ever watched anything Beavis and Butthead in the past, this movie is everything that Beavis and Butthead ever was, just updated for 2022. It's the same jokes. It spoke to my inner 15-year-old humor.
Oh my gosh.
Were there still toilet paper jokes?
I mean,
Oh, there's so many bunghole jokes and pee-pee jokes, and
it's
yeah.
it's
I
so
even
over
put
the
it
top.
yeah, it's over the top stupid. It
Are
is.
you threatening me?
Hey, Butty be my bunghole.
You're welcome, John. And I know you have Paramount Plus. You can watch it. So,
That's if
Yeah.
you can get it away from Paw Patrol.
Look, I will just say this. I happen to think that this was a very redeeming film, right? Because I will say all the things that are going on in this world, all the negative things that are impacting all of us, Beavis and Butthead and Into the Future, or whatever the hell this horrendous title is, it is just
the universe.
Do the universe, whatever. It is completely mindless crap, and it is freaking hilarious. Right. It is exactly what Tim said. It's the potty jokes. It's the woman jokes. It's them making fun of each other and hitting each other and causing. It's kind of like the modern day version of Three Stooges. And I just will tell you, I love it. I do love it. I think it's great. I hope they make 10 more of these.
Okay, so the simple fact is that there's time travel in this movie. That's why it's science fiction. Okay. They come from, I think, 1998 to 2022, and they've never seen a cell phone before. And what they figure out they can do with cell phones and the amount of nachos those two boys buy. And yeah, it's I probably enjoyed it far more than I should have. I laughed harder than I should have in a couple spots.
Yes.
It's one of those things. Go ahead, Ron.
Sorry, Tim.
Please.
I just do you for me, I equate it. It's kind of on the same, cartoon line as Sharknado is to to actually live acting, right?
You're not wrong.
It's so stupid and so freaking hilarious. And here's one of the things I love about it is that you can watch it in snippets. Like you can go watch 20 minutes of it, laugh your ass off, go out to dinner, come back exactly where you left off. It doesn't matter because every bit of it is funny.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And to me, that's redeeming. And I actually think it's very valuable to you these days.
Honestly, I watched it the other night. I paused it for a little while, came back to it. And you're right. You can pause it. You can walk away from it. You can come back to the stupidity and be like, yep, still stupid. But it is highly entertaining. And if you were at all a minor Beavis and Butthead fan at any point, if you watch Do America, or if you they do a lot of things. If you watch the show at any point, or the reboot of the show, this is the best thing that MTV has put out in dear God knows how long. Since they probably stopped since they stopped playing music videos. Yes, it's pretty clear.
Long time.
It's a long time. So
Tim, I'm going to guess that nobody on the panel is going to watch this movie. Is that a fair statement?
I would.
Okay.
I think Matman just took himself out. But
sorry, I just got a phone call. So I had to just shoot it. I'm on my phone right now.
Gotcha.
But as you could see, because it fell, I would watch this. I've never seen any Beavis and Butthead. All I know of Beavis and Butthead is all the clips and jokes that other things have made fun of.
Mm-hmm.
So but the way you describe it sounds like I'm off on summer break. So if I need a break from my Star Wars marathon, I have something to watch. I think it'd be funny.
I think it's the perfect alternative to Star Wars.
Yeah, it's the palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Palate cleanser.
You kind of jump into this. You cleanse the palate a little bit. You're able to go back out to something else that's true sci-fi and not Beavis and Butthead. And you go, oh yeah, this is pretty good. So
I remember clearly my buddy calling me when we were in high school or whatever, however old I was, saying you've got to turn on the shows on MTV. And I'm like, what? So I'm on the phone with him, and I'm watching this show, and I remember clearly the first, say, 8 to 10 minutes of me watching this show, me saying, this is unwatchable. This is the most preposterous, ridiculous cartoon. Like, it makes no sense. It's not funny. I don't know why you got me. And then something weird happens, Matman, because after about 8 to 10 minutes, one thing is going to be humorous to you. And then you're going to get into a rhythm with this. You're going to start to anticipate the humor. You're going to start to understand the characters a little bit more. And then suddenly, I don't know how, it just clicks. And then from that moment forward, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 30 minutes. I'm not sure when it's going to happen for you. But as soon as it clicks, it is unstoppable humor. Like, it is endless.
Died.
This is a good pitch for this movie. I'm not gonna lie. All I saw was the poster, and already I'm like, all right, this is just really.
Tim, is that a fair description? Is that a fair description of how it's going to go for him?
It's pretty accurate. If you can hit the 10-minute mark and haven't changed it, you're going to watch the rest of it.
That is because your brain cells have given up.
Look,
you have gone on vacation because you were watching the dumbest crap that exists.
Look, I look at it this way: I can drink 3 beers and kill some brain cells, or I can watch a few minutes of Beavis and Butthead and kill the same brain cells.
I bet whoever's calling Matman right now probably has watched it.
It's my wife. It's my wife. She's driving home right now. She probably forgot that I told her I had this, but she probably forgot.
She's calling. No, you are not watching this.
No, she's definitely not watching this. Hopefully, my mother is watching this though. Mom, if you're watching this, can you please call my wife and tell her to stop calling me? That'd be great.
Unless there's something wrong, and then please let her.
Yes, of course. If she calls back again, hopefully tell her if it's an emergency to call me back and I will answer it. But if my mommy's even still watching, I don't even know my mom kept watching. She probably turned it off. Like, she's like,
You know, the number of times that my mom has texted me with the blink twice if you're being held against your will. I'm like, I promise I'm here voluntarily.
All right. So that's
also
Beavis and Butthead. They do the universe. You need to watch it. It's an hour and 20 minutes of your life that you won't get back, but you're not exactly going to be all that sad about it either. So
it's nothing.
But I have watched longer movies that were far stupider. So, all right, let's move on. We've got a topic that Nick added in right before we went on air, so you guys weren't probably prepared for this, but we'll see if you guys have thoughts for it anyway. But the topic of the Ms. Marvel show on Disney Plus. Have you guys had a chance to watch that yet? Any thoughts?
I'm 2 episodes in, so I don't know if I'm caught up with. I think there are 3 episodes in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep,
I think there's
and
3.
And I'm 2 episodes in, so I've been watching it. I've been enjoying it. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think I watched the first episode.
F Marvel.
No. Why?
Oh, he's just tired. He's just tired of talking about it because he's been talking about it a lot on his show.
It's costumes. Is it good? I honestly, I have not seen it. Is it good?
I like it.
I enjoy it.
The only thing I would say is, because I know a lot of people were upset with the power change, because her powers were a very big part of the character and of like the culture, like the actual, like, you know, how she had to shapeshift and hide herself and change her appearance. It was a very big part of her story. And I was like, all right, so maybe they'll do something like, maybe they'll change the appearance, but they won't change like the functionality. But it definitely looks like they have done that. Like, I think as far as I know, her original powers in the comics is just it's like stretching. She can get bigger, smaller, or she can change her face like shape. Yep, and biggin. But in this, it's just the only thing it seems like they've kept is she can create the stretchy arm, but like it's light. Yeah. It's not her body now. So that's the only part that sort of like I question as to like why. And I know it's because it's Mr. Fantastic. I know that's why, because they're going to probably do something with him, but she came first. So it's kind of just like, I feel like they could have had 2. If they can have Iron Patriot and Iron Man, they can have 2 stretchy people. They can absolutely, but I'm trying to judge it as it is. And I think it's fine.
I
like it. I like it a lot. I think it's fine. I think it's great. I also don't understand a lot of the criticism that people were giving it, like the mom is abusive or strict. Like that it reminded me of my family. My mom was like that too. Like my mom was, in fact, my mom was probably stricter than her mom was.
Right? Yeah.
Like I just didn't see it, like, because I heard that before I watched the show. I heard like she's like the worst mother on the planet. It's awful. So I was like going into this like, oh wow, she must do some horrible things. Then I'm watching it, I'm like, this is just a family. This is just a normal family.
And in all honesty, episode 3 will answer 2 of the questions that you had right there about her power sets. It explains it a little bit more, and also it'll explain the mother a little bit more as well. One of the things I do like about this show, so if you were a fan at all of Into the Spider-Verse, or if you liked Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the animations and the things that are going on in the background are very much reminiscent of those 2 shows and how it plays out. And it's a very aesthetically appealing show. And I love the way that they're working in her cultural things that are specific to the Pakistani people and everything that they're dealing with and all that kind of stuff. And it's a very unique and interesting story. And I will just say this, for the most part, if you don't like her or you don't like the show, that's okay. It wasn't written for you. You're probably a white guy that thinks that the show has to be for you. So it doesn't. Let be a story be for somebody else. It's okay.
Not everything's gonna cater just to me. Gosh.
But there's nothing out there for me. What else? What is there? What is there for white people out there for movies? There's none.
Everything else.
I actually do relate to like I said, like it reminded me of my family a lot. So like I actually like, even though I am very white, I relate to it just fine. He's
not wrong.
The
ad man of
Lizzie
chaos.
McGuire.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim meets Lizzie McGuire. I can actually see that.
That's
yeah. So
back to this.
You know who could have brought Deal Campbell? I still not have seen that movie.
It made me think of a joke though.
Oh boy!
Is how do cats like their meat?
Oh God!
Rawr.
Oh no!
So, not that this has anything to do with anything, nor does anybody actually care, but I made Selena Kyle and Pamela Isley and Harley Quinn in Sims today.
Oh my gosh,
and
that's
moved
awesome!
Them all into a house together.
How's it going?
So far, so good. They are the Gotham Girls, so it is my Gotham version of Golden Girls.
Oh my God!
It's making me way happier than it should.
Harley Quinn is Betty White.
Yes, 100%. Yes, I don't have Sophia, but it'll be okay.
Okay, now I want to see a Golden Girls version of that.
I'm wondering who you could get to be the 4th. I'm trying to think. It's like, who would you get?
Ivy.
No.
So
she's got Ivy.
Yeah,
Ivy.
Ivy.
Oh, I didn't hear Ivy. I'm sorry.
Ivy, Harley,
Pamela
and
Isley.
Catwoman. I'm trying to think of.
There was another woman in the original Batman TV series.
I got one.
She worked with the Riddler. I can't remember her name, but she had a purple jumpsuit. Anyway,
I was gonna say Huntress.
Ooh, I was.
There you
actually...
go.
You could probably put Huntress in there because she's been an anti-hero, I think, before. She's been sort of like a.
So who would play who? Would she be Blanche?
I was just randomly gonna throw Penguin in a
Penguin in there with the.
Picture it, Sicily.
No.
Okay, so anyway,
but yeah, no, they live in this big Victorian house with a happy little greenhouse, and it makes me very happy.
Lovely.
I have problems.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for being on the show. Let's remind everybody where they can find you. Ron, let's have you go first this time so I don't skip you.
Yeah, Wednesday evenings, 9:30, Crossing the Streams with the Jeff Dwoskin gang, and at a podcast near you. So thanks for having me, Tim. Super appreciate it.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm at the Matman Show on TikTok, and I believe it's also Matman Show on Instagram and Twitter.
Excellent. All right, we've got some updates for the things that are coming and have come to the show.
So last Friday, our guest was the New York Times best-selling Star Trek author Dayton Ward. This was his second trip on the show. He came by to talk some more Star Trek with us and even some dinosaurs. Yep, he helped write a Jurassic World cookbook. So if you're looking for a great recipe for Velociraptor burgers, this is the book.
Hi, this is Dayton Ward, and you're listening to the Funny Science Fiction PopCast.
And you can still find that episode of Funny Science Fiction on our YouTube channel and your favorite audio podcast providers.
And remember that your subscription to our YouTube channel is a major help, so please do not forget to click like and subscribe when you watch the videos. However, this upcoming Friday, our guest has been a writer, producer, director of Star Trek Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5, Sliders, and more. In fact, he wrote the story for the legendary episode of Deep Space Nine, Far Beyond the Stars.
Hi, this is Mark Zickley, and welcome to the Funny Science Fiction PopCast.
So yeah, this Friday we're really excited to welcome Mark Zickery, also known on YouTube as Mr. Sci-Fi. We talked with him about all those shows that Kathleen mentioned just a moment ago. In fact, his new show called Space Command, which he has a bunch of actors from Star Trek, Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica, and a bunch of others all kind of crammed into this show. And it's pretty cool. You can find him on YouTube under Mr. Sci-Fi or Mark Zickery, either way. But be sure to tune in this Friday morning. You can watch it on YouTube or you can listen on your favorite audio podcast provider. Okay, I got to see what's going on in the comments here.
Am I missing something? I can't see the comments, so.
So Ron said this. And then Kathleen said this.
Colonel Sanders, and now I want chicken.
My phone is next to me, and I was looking at it at a funny angle.
How's that truly working for you?
Fantastic.
Oh,
This is
God.
the highlight of my Mondays, guys.
I got to remember that for the next time I come on.
Should always live and drink. It's way better.
Absolutely.
Good. Or you have the cautionary tale to don't drink in live. But
No. This is one of the times where you should take Kathleen's advice, Tim.
I'll just avoid the Jaeger.
Drink and
Oh God, no. We're not going to do anything like crazy.
no. Ixnay on the Egger, yeah.
To get the anxiety to go away, and you're good.
There you go. All right, guys. Matt, Ron, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I loved having you guys here. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be back anytime.
Awesome.
All right, guys. That's going to conclude us for the FSF PopCast. Bye.
See ya.
On behalf of the rest of the hosts of the FSF PopCast, we want to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on a future episode, please contact us by means of Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FSF PopCast. Or go to www.fsfpopcast.com and click on the contact link. Thanks again, and hope you enjoyed the episode.